Peace and blessings, butterflies. Welcome and welcome back to the channel. Welcome to this Wednesday's Butterfly Rant. This is Butterfly Rant Wednesday, and I am your host, the Awakened Butterfly. Guys, on Butterfly Rant Wednesdays, we will be discussing random topics about things that are usually on your mind that you try to discuss with other people, and it usually goes in one ear and out the other. You're usually disregarded, discredited. People call you crazy. This is the venting day. This is the day that we can get together and discuss these important topics that really are important, but usually are overlooked due to society's norm. And speaking of society's norm, that is what one of the things I will be discussing in today's rant. And guys, every time you see the butterfly light on, just know that we are about to go in. Guys, on Wednesdays, there's no limit. We are really going to get in deep about a lot of the things that's going on in the world that, that we're unhappy about, some things that have raised some red flags that need to be discussed. And one of the things that I'm going to start off with talking about is money. And as we all know, money is the root of all evil. However, we cannot survive without it. So money is one of the resources that I feel the devil is most certainly going to use against everyone in order to draw people further away from the Most High and closer to Him. And it seems like a rat race effect going on right now. I know everyone is seeing it. Everyone is starting to feel a systematic energy as far as you go to work, you come home, you eat dinner, prepare, take your shower or whatever, you prepare for the next day. It's ongoing, and it seems that that's what, as humans, what we have to do in society to survive. But it seems that now things are being taken up a notch. It seems that people are working longer hours, and it's like slaving, just in order to make a living. And this is also due to price inflation, things going up, food prices going up, clothing, etc. It seems that everything is so high these days, and a lot of people have set a certain lifestyle for themselves, and they're used to having the finer things, and pretty much anything less than that makes them feel out of their comfort zone. Some people are not comfortable with just settling for something because it's more of a reasonable price and it doesn't really serve an important purpose. There are a lot of materialistic people in the world, and money is one of their main focuses. And guys, I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with working hard and getting money, because you're supposed to. But when it becomes the main highlight of your life, then that's where there's an imbalance. And where there's an imbalance, I feel that many dark spirits are starting to take over. Anytime something takes over your life to where there's no balance and it makes you feel less than yourself, it has nothing to do with God any longer. Money causes people to compete. It causes greed. It causes jealousy, envy, and it's also going to be one of the main things that the enemy uses during these last days, such as the mark of the beast, where there will become a time that if you don't get this mark placed within your right hand or your forehead, you will not be able to buy or sell anything. And this is where people will start to separate. This is where you will start to see who's with God and who's not, who's going to be able to withstand this battle and who's going to fall weak. Guys, this is not a joke, okay? This is more serious than we could even imagine. This is big. Being consumers in this world is one of the major factors that makes the world go round. That's how the money circulates, and that's how everyone is able to buy and consume goods. Once the mark of the beast situation takes place, many people that you trusted, many people that you thought you could trust, many people that you wouldn't even imagine that would turn on you most certainly will. Because everyone is not able to survive in unfortunate situations. And a lot of the times this brings the savage out of people. When you don't have a balance, these type of situations can really bring the savage out of a person where they would be down to do a lot of grimy things like steal, rob, whatever to survive. And it's going to be a lot of that going on. And that's why we have to really be, at this time, it's really good to be resourceful, frugal, and at the same time, it's also good to show love to people less fortunate than you. And a lot of times, a lot of people feel that because they're not rich, that they're not in a position to help someone less fortunate. Well, that's not the case. There's plenty of ways to help people less fortunate. You could make meals and take them to a homeless shelter. There's plenty of things that people could do to show their gratitude. You don't have to be rich to help someone, less fortunate than you. And I just want everyone to know that money is not the most important thing in the world. It's going to come to a point where money isn't going to hold any place value on this earth. So I don't feel that anyone should get attached to anything on this earth at all. I feel that everyone should just focus on forming a relationship with God as much as they can in these last days. Many people may not agree with me, many will, but this is just an opinion. This is just a rant, and this is how I feel. I really, pray that a lot of people start to feel the same way, because when it comes to God, that's the only opinion that I feel everyone should gravitate to, although many may not. Other than that, I would never try to place any other beliefs or anything upon anyone. And I'm not even trying to force anyone to have a relationship with the Most High. I just feel that it's a great thing to do, because you're either with Him or against Him, and He's our only truth, light, and salvation. Following trends and beliefs. This is where I am in this rant, where it seems that if you don't think the way others do, if you don't have the same values and beliefs, you're outcast, you're placed in this box. And it's like everyone's having a party that you're not invited to. And this is another reason why God isolates a lot of His chosen people, because when they're awakened to the truth, a lot of the times, well, for one, is to also, go through your healing process and to get strong so you can speak the truth. And that is mainly from speaking the word in the Bible. And God will isolate you so you won't have any distractions, so you can read your Bible, so you can focus on you for a while, because you've been dealing with energy vampires your whole life. It was set that way because you were chosen. So these people has been, draining your light and energy for a long time. And the Most High sees this, so He separates you so you can refuel and get yourself together. And also to protect you from these people, because many are, just because someone's drawn to your light, it's not for good, always for good reason. Many are placed in your life to try and indoctrinate you to believe what they believe, to think how they feel you should think. And it's systematic, and it's all a part of the norm of society today. And it's all a part of the future system that, that I feel is slowly but surely taking place. It's really already taking place, where it's going to be a one world belief, a one, world religion, a one world truth. Because it seems that when you're speaking the truth, it's like you create enemies. People can't stand it. And whenever you're covering things up, sugarcoating everything, it seems that it's like, when people are around, like, oh, I don't have to deal with them, speaking the truth or, exposing anything. It seems that everyone's so secretive these days. Everything's a secret and, you know, um, members only type of thing. If you're um, trying to be an honest person and tell the truth and be a stand up, person in society, you're not in the club. And guys, I just want you to know that this is all a part of the spiritual warfare, good against evil. No one's perfect, but there are some straight up demonic people out here that is trying to destroy um, children of God. Everyone is not a child of God. There are many people here that don't even believe in Christ. There are a lot of antichrist on this earth. And there are a lot of people that are worshiping the antichrist spirit. And if you don't go to your Bible and if you don't pray for wisdom and discernment, you won't know when the Messiah returned, and he will most certainly be mistaken for a false prophet. And also on this earth, you won't even know who you're dealing with, because you're feeling that you're dealing with someone that you've known your whole life, but there's a demonic spirit attached to them trying to literally destroy you and take you out of here. And I just want everyone to know that when you pray for this wisdom and discernment, be ready for I call it a supernatural gift from God, because he will literally give you the eyes to see demonic forces. I really feel that, because, and this is related to experience. He will really give you the ability to see the spirit within other people. And if you don't, you wouldn't imagine, a person could look good on the outside, but you wouldn't imagine how their spirit looks within. And it's really all about the inside that count, because the inside will also show on the outside. It's like I was saying yesterday, in Matthew chapter 7, verses 15 through 16. God said, judge them by their fruits, and there are many people out here that appear to be one way, and they're very manipulative. They can really persuade you to think that they're a good person. So you have to know the spirit within to know who these people really are. And God gives everyone a different set of eyes, and he will, with prayer, he will, bless you to be able to see these things. I have honestly seen demonic spirits operating through people before, and I can still see it to this very day. And I'm pretty sure in my past life, when I was, living a certain way, people probably saw the same thing through me. So, I'm not here trying to pretend to be perfect or better than anyone else, but when my past doesn't involve me trying to destroy anybody, but I was just living a life of sin, more sin than, I'm not saying I'm perfect and not sinning now, but of more sin, hanging with the wrong crowd, things of that nature. And people can play a strong influence on you when they're in your life. The saying, you are who you hang with. Who you keep in your company says a lot about who you are as a person. I feel that many people are mind controlled by society now. It seems that a lot of people are trying to look the same way. I'm not trying to throw any shade to anyone, but when it comes to us, a lot as women, it seems that a lot of women, especially the young generation, they're pretty much imitating each other. And, a lot of people are, looking the same, the same hairdo, the same, um, outfits. You know, a lot of people are even now people are picking up the same personalities as others. You know, they're acting like others. It's starting to become like a robotic system, you know, and it's like if you're not with the program, you know, you're an enemy. You know, you're not accepted, you're an outcast, and that's what you want to be. That's what you want to be, guys, at this time. You don't want to be like everyone else. You want to do the opposite of what everyone else is doing because um it's like if you automatically look outside of what everyone is considering normal now, you're an automatic threat to society. You know, everyone's automatically against you. The gang stalking starts, you know, the spiritual attacks start. You know, in all actuality, you are dealing with witches, warlocks, and demonic energy. So these things are bound to happen, especially when you say, you know what, I'm trying to live for God. I'm trying to do the right thing. That means I can't hang with some of the people that I used to hang with. I can't do a lot of the things that I used to do. Once you decide this, you are most certainly a threat because now you're probably not hanging out or, you know, going to the clubs with a lot of friends like you used to. You're probably not eating a lot of the same foods that you used to. There's a lot that comes with changing for the better. And I realized that. I realized when I was stuck in a certain place, people were still, you know, mistreating me. I was seeing the red flags, but it didn't seem as if I was a threat. But in all actuality, I was. That's why they were doing it in the first place. I realize now. But it seems that when I separated and tried to, you know, trying to better my life, that's when it seems that they turned into more of an, I would say, an obvious enemy because they were already an enemy. They was just more of a wolf in sheep's clothing. When you go around people or when people, you know, realize you've changed, you remind them of what they probably need to be doing. And you also remind them of how spiritually dead they are. Because if there's anyone out here trying to follow trends and imitate someone else and not trying to draw close to the Most High, just, you know, following the crowd, joining the rat race, competing with others. You know, it's like also if you're not so caught up in making money now, it's like, you know, you could work so hard. And if you're not on a certain level as someone else, they still look at you like you're a bum or something. You know, I don't know if anyone else is going through that, but it's like now people are comparing how hard they work to how hard others work. But in all actuality, this person is overworking themselves to maintain a certain lifestyle. And this person is still working hard, but they're not overdoing it to where they don't have time for their family. They don't have time for themselves. They don't have time to just, you know, they don't have time for the Most High, you know, to collect, you know, overall mentally, physically, and spiritually. You know, when you're so caught up in one thing, you're most certainly neglecting something else. If you're so caught up in work, your family's being neglected. You're being neglected because you're so consumed in work. The work is the only thing that's getting the undivided attention. The Most High is not getting your attention. You're so focused on the money and what you're going to do with it. But by the time you're able to do something with it, you're probably too tired, you know? So that's why I try to explain to everyone that, yes, money is important. We need it, but it shouldn't consume your entire life, you know? That, you know, like I said, anything that's an imbalance is a one-sided deal. When you do come into the truth and get, you know, try and grow closer to God, be prepared to lose friends. Be prepared to lose family and partners. It's an automatic. I didn't even know that at first, guys. I didn't even know that people were going to change on me because I wasn't thinking spiritually. I was just thinking physically. And everyone has a spirit operating within. So a person could appear one way, they can approach you one way, they can even seem one way. But the spirit within, it actually shows who a person really is and who's operating through them. I have a movie, and if anyone remembers any of my past videos on this channel, I would discuss some things, and I would have a movie. We would have a movie day, which means I would leave a movie down in the description for you guys to watch. It's a free movie on Tubi, and it's an older movie from 1988. And I don't know if I discussed this from any of my past videos. If I did, guys, someone let me know down in the comment section. But I might have discussed it, but I don't think I left the link for you to watch. And if you have already watched it, that's cool. And if you want to watch it again, and if you haven't, check it out. It's called They Live. And it's about a man who discovered these sunglasses, and it helped him see the spiritual world, what was really going on around him, and the spirits within other people. And he saw that everyone was pretty much in the town spiritually dead, and everyone was systemized to think, act, and look a certain way. Everyone had on work business attire. Everyone was just all about making money, working. Just everyone was spiritually dead, and he saw this, and everyone could see his light, and that he was awakening to what was going on, and he automatically was a threat. And the reason why everyone comes at you at one time, because they're already systematically indoctrinated. They already have a systematic belief. Life is all about getting money. Life is all about, having fun, hanging out, sleeping around with different people. It's just, a lot of the things that social media, OnlyFans, all these things that everyone's caught up in, so much to the point where they're not making time for the Most High, making time for themselves to even, find themselves where they really are, within this matrix. Like, what am I really doing? Am I following the Most High, or am I following the world? And the Lord, He knows His sheep, and at the end, His sheep will know Him. And if you're not following God, you're following Satan. That's just what it is. And if you're also not following people who's following Satan, you're an outcast. Don't be afraid to be alone. Don't be afraid to lose people when you know that you're following God, because you will be blessed for following the Most High. You most certainly will. He will never leave you or forsake you. And if anyone's leaving you because you're trying to do the right thing, you don't need them in your life anyway. That's just how I look at it. I've been judged tremendously for trying to do the right thing. People, when you try to do the right, it's like everything's backwards now. Good is bad, bad is good. It's like everyone who's, doing wicked things, they're very narcissistic, and then they have other narcissistic people backing them up. It's like a systematic approach to people who are trying to live in the truth and trying to do the right thing. Doesn't mean that you're perfect, but you're trying. You're trying to do the right thing. You're not trying to, manipulate and hurt people and make excuses for why you're doing it. You're just trying to live an honest life and get right. And I'm just starting to see the robotic system. And I also see how when everyone teams up against you at one time, it's really all coming from the same enemy, So I just want everyone to be strong out there and, stay aware of your surroundings and what's going on around you. Pray for strong wisdom and discernment as well, because there's a spirit working behind the physical. Always know that. If it seems strange, if a person is talking off, I also can hear the spirit within a person's voice when they're talking to me. It just seems so off. A lot of the questions that people will call and randomly ask, a lot of things people would say, I can even hear zombie sounds sometimes, like, the zombie groans of, the sounds of the zombie. I can even sometimes hear that in the, in the environment. And I hope that doesn't sound crazy, but the Lord will really awaken you supernaturally to your surroundings to show you what's happening spiritually. I feel like the Lord honestly will show us when we pray for discernment, He will show us the spiritual realm. He will show us what's going on around us. And once He shows us, we have to act in accordingly. The Messiah never stayed in one place. He moved from different places. And this is because, when the enemies arise, it's time to go to another place. And when you go to these different places, you're spreading truth and light at the same time. And this is what's making you a threat in the first place. So if you are being mistreated in a situation because of this spiritual warfare, and you do know the difference, you can tell when it's spiritual because it's like people will attack you for no reason. They'll get mad at you for no reason. That's how you know it's spiritual. Prepare to leave, so it takes time. I'm not saying it's easy to leave. It's not, because once you move in and live somewhere, that's where you live. So it's like now you have to adjust to, saving money and finding another place all over again. So it may take 6 months to a year. It may take time, but within that time, stay as silent as you can around the person that's, or people that's making you feel like this, and stay in your word. Make sure you fast at least once a month and get you some strong prayer in, because going back and forth with these people is, number one, what they want you to do, because they're already operating on demon time and they're energy vampires. And once they steal your energy and get you vibrating on the same level as them, that's when they're able to really attack you, and even physically attack you and leave you feeling, if not that, they can attack you to where, spiritually, to where you're feeling drained, and that can knock off your judgment and discernment, So also make sure you drink plenty of water, get some rest, and, eat right. Stay away from a lot of red meat, stay away from pork, period. Go on a vegan or vegetarian diet every few months, or at least a week out of a month, just to cleanse and detox your body. Guys, I see a lot of what's going on. I try to keep myself mentally stable for these things, because it's a lot to bear, it's a lot to take in. So I want everyone to also make sure you're keeping you're working on your mental health. Make sure you take some time out for yourself. If you have to go to the park or anywhere to, just get some air and talk with God, and, pray for mental stability, pray for strength, and, in these end times, because I'm not going to say that, oh, God is coming back. He is coming back, but I don't know when, and neither does anyone else. So what I am going to say is there's something going on. Most certainly. There's a lot of prophecy. There's a lot of things being prophesied. So I'm just going to say that. And I think that says a lot within itself. I want you guys to check that movie out. I have some really important videos coming. Some things that we're going to talk about. Have some more gang stalking videos. Some things that I want you guys to really pay attention to, because it's all about awareness and, knowing how to protect yourselves and your loved ones as well. So I just want you to know that being desensitized is being trained to accept what's going on. And no one has to accept what's going on. There's a God up there that loves us and most certainly will protect us. And don't let anyone tell you different. All right, guys. I'm going to go ahead and end this video. That's the end of my butterfly rant for today. I would love for you guys to hit up the comment section. Let me know, give any thoughts and opinions on how you feel about this discussion that we had today. I love you guys so, so, so much. You would never, ever understand how important it is to be able to come on this platform and talk to you. And to have like minds is the blessing of it all. So with that being said, I will see you guys in the next video. Stay tuned. I have a lot of great content coming. Spiritual Awareness Convo 1 is coming actually this week. So be prepared for that. I love you so much, guys. Peace and blessings.